In Activity 13, Color Wheels, students make multicolored wheels whose colors appear to blend when the wheels are spun. They first observe the effect of spinning a wheel with different colored halves, then predict what will happen when other color wheels are spun, and finally compare this process to other color mixing processes. You will need the following materials from the kit: Activity Sheet 13, Parts A and B, color wheel, sheets of white paper, crayons, pieces of cardboard, and a roll of string. You will also need to provide scissors and a roll of transparent tape. To prepare for the activity, make a copy of Activity Sheet 13, Parts A and B for each student. Cut the cardboard into 10 centimeter squares, one for each student. Also, cut one piece of string 1.5 meters in length for each student. Each student will need his or her color wheel, a square of cardboard, a length of string, a sheet of white paper, and some transparent tape. Each team of 2 will need a box of crayons and a pair of scissors. To begin Session 1, explain to the class that they are going to investigate how we see things. Divide the class into teams of 2 and distribute the materials. Give each student one copy of Activity Sheet 13, Part A, and have the students follow the directions to color their wheels. Next, instruct the students to cut out the color wheels and tape one to each side of the cardboard. They should use a pencil or scissors to punch 2 holes through the black dots near the center of the circle. Then, have the students thread each end of their string through a different hole in their wheels and tie the ends securely together. Explain to the students that they are going to see what happens when they spin their wheels very quickly. Demonstrate how to make the cardboard square spin on the string by holding each end of the string loop between the thumb and first 2 fingers of each hand. With a little slack in the string, swing the cardboard in circles until the string is twisted 10 to 20 times. Then pull the string taut to start the cardboard spinning. Relax the tension in the string so that the spinning cardboard winds the string the other way. Then pull it taut again when it slows down to allow the cardboard to wind in the opposite direction. Continue the pull and relax cycle to keep the cardboard spinning. Inform the students that spinning colored wheels are called spinners. Allow the students time to spin and observe their spinners in motion. Have them look at the red and blue side first. Then ask students, what does the red and blue side of your spinner look like when it's spinning? Does it always look the same? They should see that the red and blue halves will blur into a light purple color. When the spinner slows down, the individual colors become distinguishable again. Next, have the students look at the red and green side of their spinners. This time they will see that the red and green halves will blend into a light yellow. Then guide students to think about how the separate colors on the spinner could combine into one color. Students should realize that the color images must mix in their eyes or brain, as they do when mixing colored light beams, looking at printed images, or watching television. Ask students, does this seem like an example of color subtraction or color addition? They should know that the colors are mixing additively because the color is lighter when the spinner is spun, not darker as it is when mixing pigment or subtracting light. Explain to the students that persistence of vision is when their eyes continue to see an image, even if the light on that image was flashed only briefly. When they watch their color wheels spinning quickly, their eyes respond to light from one of the colored halves, even after the other half has moved into and begun reflecting its own color from the student's field of vision. Consequently, it looks as if both colors are coming from the same place and the images mix, just as colored beams of light mix. To conclude Session 1, collect the crayons, the spinners, and the color wheels for use in the second session. To begin Session 2, have the students look at the color wheel they made in Activity 1 and ask, what do you think would happen if you taped this color wheel onto a spinner? Students should recognize that this would be like combining light beams of all different colors, so the wheel should look white when spun. Some students may predict that it will look black. Tell students to fold their wheels in half and cut a slit between the black dots in the center of the wheel. Then slide the wheel over the string of their spinners and tape it to the cardboard on top of the red and blue spinner. Next, have students spin their multicolored spinners and ask them to describe and explain what they see. The spinners may not look completely white, but when spun, they will become uniform in color and lighter than any of the individual colors on the spinner. Because the light from the colors persists in the vision long enough for the eye to register every color in a single image, the colors are combined additively and should, theoretically, form white. Finally, give each student a copy of Activity Sheet 13, Part B, and a blank sheet of white paper. Encourage them to first predict and then experiment with different colors or patterns for new spinners. Tell them to record all predictions and observations on Part B of the activity sheet. Encourage students to draw designs such as wedges, spirals, concentric rings, bands, or dots of color on their wheels. To conclude Session 2, return the crayons to the kit. Give the students the option of discarding or keeping their spinners. For science background, reinforcement activities, curriculum connections, and information about the Delta Science Reader, please consult your DSM Teacher's Guide.